Hello Virgo, and welcome to your Astroflower reading for the 22nd through to the 29th of May. If you're not part of the Astroflower family, it's very easy. You just need to subscribe and click that bell, which is really important. And you will become part of the Astroflower family. This is, just to go through it quickly, this is your relationships, your spirit, your emotional sort of side of life. This is your money, your job, your business, your projects. This is your karmic path, how the universe influences it. And this is the energy that's running through you. Let's just go straight in there. Let's jump straight in there. I'd like to thank everybody for being there last week for me. All our subscribers who came back and watched our channel. Absolutely beautiful. Love you for it. Let's just jump straight in here. See what's going on with the message that we're going to get. The funny thing is, let me get this here. Everything starts from a small acorn. So I think it's basically sort of saying everything starts from a seed. So there's got to be a seed of thought. There's got to be a seed of action. There's got to be a seed of emotion. And from that, we can allow everything to grow from there. So last week, did you get those little seeds to sort of kind of saying, oh yeah, that there I'm just running around like a blue-ass fly for everybody else. Did you get those little seeds of information for you sort of saying, I should actually be doing this for me? Because you should be, because when you are okay, everybody else can be okay. That's the way the universe works. And Virgo, you are just so good at helping out that when you're on full form, it works for everybody else. This is the best thing about it. Okay, so I think this is whole sort of seed things is those sort of seeds of ideas that kind of going, do you know what, I can do that, I can fall in love like that, I can have those relationships, I can have that emotion, it's okay, I'm allowed to. It's really important. The funny thing is that card came up as well for Taurus. It seems to be coming up quite a lot for you signs. So, and in exactly the same position, which is bizarre. So yeah, and it's the universe is sort of saying, okay, so look at this, right? This here, right? There's loads of different cups. There's ladders on there, there's snakes on there, there's clouds, but there's only one cup that's giving water, the emotions, yeah? So the universe is sort of saying, you have loads of possibilities to run around doing this, that, and the other, but really there's only one thing you should be doing, and that's that cup there. The message for Taurus on that was, I think, let your love light shine. But for you, it's that seed, I think, there that you should lovingly plant and allow it to grow in your garden. That is the important bit. In your garden, okay? Once you do that, all of a sudden, everybody in around you can actually profit from the shade of that tree that's grown in your garden. Okay? Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence that karmic path for you. Because one thing I didn't say, between all of those there is only one choice, the evident path. And that is that one cup. There is no choices in life. Choices are an illusion to sell you things, sell you ideas, sell you certain philosophies, or even, political sort of things. But yeah, so let's just see how the guys are trying to influence that karmic path there. Just had a technical complication. Let's get back to your thing. So how's the guides? So every single seed that you plant, not every single one's gonna make it into the big oak tree, but they all need nurturing in some way, not only from yourself, but also in the environment around you. So obviously you can grow things under lights and stuff like that. I'm not a great fan of that. But the sun has got to provide that light and that sun in order for those plants to grow. So it's a case of allowing your relationships or your community or your family or your partner to also contribute to the growing of that seed. Obviously, you have the majority of control over it, of how you water it, how you weed around it, and things of that nature. But you've got to understand that there's also that stuff that's going to come in from the outside world. The King of Pentacles. This is the relationship side, and this is a very sterling card, very solid card about understanding of what you want out of. And I think this is how the guides are sort of trying to influence you here, sort of reminding you of what the capacity or what is capable within that seed. And also, it's a king of family. It's a king of family of understanding. It's almost as if he's sitting in the Akashic library and they've got all that understanding behind him of all the lives that people have lived and various different lives that people have lived. But he's also got that wolf down at the bottom, and it's all to do with the pack. It's all to do with the family. It's all to do with the groups, with the friends, with the community, and that sort of manner. So I think it's a case of understanding that, yes, it's good to do things for yourself. And yes, it's good to look after yourself. But also that is within the context of the world around you. And that's a defining, difficult balance that we all try and do through our lives. And there's various ways in which we can do that. Once you can get and feel that balance, and you know what it's like when you're riding a bike or on a skateboard or ice skating or whatever, you get that sensation kind of go, I've got that balance now. And once you've got that balance, you're going to be able to push it through. And I'll push it all the way. Don't let other people drag you back. Okay? So let's just see how this is influencing. The guides are trying to influence your conversation that is within you. Listen. Do you want to know a secret? It's like listening to the world around you. And this doesn't necessarily mean with the people, but this is listening to the world to help you understand. Once you do understand, then you go ahead and do it. Once you're doing it, you're not necessarily concentrating or listening full blown to everything that is around you. So this is more a case of listening to your guides who are also listening to the outside world. So that's saying, did you hear that? Did you hear this? And they're sort of like feeding you cues, as it were, like in a play, feeding you lines to sort of like, that'll help you sort of move on. So judgment. So it's going to help you take a real step up this week, Virgo. Looks really nice on your relationship side. This could be within your partners. So within your partner, if there's some things you realize within you of how to make your relationship with your partner explore life even more, that's going to help you and your partner, and therefore your relationship, to take it a step up to the next level. And that is a real ascension moment. And this is where your guides are going to sort of have that conversation or have that influence upon the conversation that is within you, that will allow you to get the best out of that interaction with life and help you to sort of really step up. And when you step up, you won't want to go back to what you were before. You're going to want to be in that nice new place where you can see a lot further. Okay, let's just have a look what's going on the business side. It seems a little bit more sort of tricky. You got the devil, so it's a little bit of temptation. So, and this is Taurus had this as well, being careful about temptations of life around you, and how it can sort of take you off your path. And the universe here with that Seven of Wands is trying to ask you to stay on that path. Sometimes if it's too good to be true, it's usually because it isn't. Yeah? Remember this, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. So The message here is that you can't walk on multiple paths at the same time. You can have different aspects of your path, different dimensions of it. So on one side of the path, it's one thing, one side of the other side of the path, it's another thing. Underneath the path, it's another thing, above it, it's another thing. And that I can understand. But you can't actually walk on different paths, as it were. So it's basically sort of saying, stick to the paths that work. That's what seems to be sort of saying. I think this is going to need to be explored a little bit more. And I'd like to explore it with, so let's see how the guides are trying to influence that sort of karmic path here. The devil is the light bearer, so it brings light to the situation and it shines light on the greater aspect of your path, which then can create temptations for you to deviate from your path. The devil doesn't actually sort of say, go this way. That's not what the devil does. What the devil does is look at all these possibilities. And it's you and it's us or I, we go off the path. We choose to go off the path. Yeah? So I think it's more to do with clear thinking and seeing what is good and right for you. Cautious. You know, you had the Five of Pentacles in this position last week, so it seems to be a very progressional sort of thing. And this week here, it's more of a case of kind of going, be a little bit more, not shrewd, but more sort of discerning about how you invest your money or invest in the job you're in or in the business you're doing. Just be patient and wary, I think, more than anything else. Let's go on to this next card up here, which is how your guides are trying to influence the conversation that is within you. Okay, this is interesting because it seems like that your karmic path here is to not get distracted. This is basically what it appears to be like. Not to get distracted by all the buzzes and bells and all the shining lights and stuff like that around your path, but concentrate on your path. You know, sometimes the road of life is long, but it's not wide. And sometimes it's really wide with lots of choices on either side. And that is what you seem to be going through, where it's a really wide path, there's lots of choices, but it's possible that actually, if you keep your head up and you look ahead of you, you'll actually kind of go, do you know what? That lovely house on top of that hill was exactly where I want to go, which is not on that path, you know, not on that part there. You just got to keep going through it. So that's what it seems to be, having strength. There you go. Being strong and true to your path. That's what it seems to be like. How do you combine these two together? Here. This is a very mechanical week for you guys. Very technical. It's going to help you loads. It's really going to help you loads. It's like when you drive a car. You can learn the technique of the car. So this is the driving, the gear stick, and this is the brake, this is the accelerator. But once you've got in the car, then you can feel how to drive the car. So at the moment, you're learning about the car. This seems to be a learning about life week. It's a really good thing. Learning how to mechanically make life work for you. Yeah. So it seems to be like a learning card. Okay, so you got the Six of Cups. So yeah, it's raking over the things you already know in life, putting them to the test, but realizing that you should be on that path and don't go back to your old self. If you've made this transition within you, and we're going through these transitions at the moment, if you've made that transition within you, keep the good memories, of course, but move on and let go of the things that no longer serve you from the past. Okay, what's the overall energy that's running through you? When we do this, when we learn about life and we learn about the mechanics and we start applying it, there's got to be some form of reward. There's got to be some sort of happiness that comes back into your life. And this is what seems to be building up within you at the moment. You know, you are, you'll be coming into your autumn next month, because we moved into Gemini month, Gemini season. So you are moving into your autumn. So it's all about this mechanic preparing for the future, but it's building for those rewards in the future. And I don't think it's a case that these rewards are going to come this week. I think you're going to get the glimpse of what the possibilities of the rewards of the future are. Death and rebirth. You're into that last 3 months before your cycle. If you've bought our book on Virgo, the Astroflower Virgo, you'll understand about those rhythms. That the last 3 months before your birthday is equivalent of the autumn period. And those 3 months are broken down into individual 1, 2, 3 months. And they have specific sort of aspects to those months in that leading up to your birthday. And it is a death and rebirth from one year to another, like autumn actually is. We harvest a lot of things in autumn, so it's almost like a rebirth, a stock of our foods, but it's also a death of the plant. But we also have the seeds to plant for next year. That's that whole transition between death and rebirth. And you may notice that this week, a certain slowdown within you, if your birthday is within the first week of Virgo. If it's not within the first week of Virgo, you just might see it turning up. And this is what this whole sort of thing of looking and seeing those rewards, not necessarily coming for you now, but you can see them down the road, like that house I was saying at the end of the road on top of the hill. So keep on it, Virgo. You're doing really well. Absolutely beautiful to see you here at the Astroflower family. If you want to be part of the Astroflower family, it's very easy to do. All you got to do is subscribe, but more importantly as well, it's not more importantly because you've got to do this as well, but click that bell. That is apparently really important. It will help us to grow, and if we can grow, you can grow. It's a mutual sort of growing aspect to it all. Okay, we have got your book Virgo, the Astroflower Virgo out there. You'll find that in the links in the description below as well. In the meantime, Virgo, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.